Good afternoon. I want to first thank everyone for being here today. I thank the great men of the police department who have joined me. I want to acknowledge Peter Lee, who is here from the John Hope Settlement House, Michelle Cortez from Chispa, and Melda Benitez from Hutto. I see Councilman Cliff Wood, many of our other community partners. Thank you all for being here today. Last Thursday, every resident of the city of Providence was outraged and deeply disappointed to hear of the arrest of 3 Providence police officers on drug-related charges. First, I want to thank the Colonel of the Rhode Island State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Attorney General for acknowledging that we have a great police department that has transformed itself in the last 7 years, and for emphasizing that the charges against these individuals are the result of the behavior of a few rogue officers and do not reflect the character and culture of our great police department. This is an important distinction because in all of the attention over these arrests, we cannot lose sight of what this story is really about, and that's the extraordinary transformation of the Providence Police Department. When I took office in 2003, this department was under twin investigations by the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice for patterns and practice violations, and by the Inspector General's Office for the misappropriation of federal funds, both very serious matters. That is no longer the case. Today, the Providence Police Department is on its way to being one of a select few in the country to be fully accredited. In addition, this department will soon become the first teaching police department in America. We all heard the evidence during the criminal trial of my predecessor about the pervasive corruption in city government. 2 federal courts described City Hall as an ongoing criminal enterprise, of which the police department was a central part. Who could forget the evidence of cheating on exams and buying positions and promotions that were presented in federal court at that time? Today, this department is a national model for police departments all over the country who come here to study our successful policing programs. Today, we're experiencing the lowest crime rate in 30 years, thanks in large part to the neighborhood-based community policing initiative that has transformed the department. The community works in strong partnership with this department like never before. This dramatic transformation could not have happened without the commitment of the dedicated men and women of this department and the trust and confidence they have earned from the community for their integrity and effectiveness. We have come too far in the last 8 years to allow the behavior of 3 bad officers to impugn and undermine the outstanding work of an entire department. I will not allow this to happen. This city will not allow this to happen. First, these officers must be held accountable for their own behavior. If convicted of these charges, they should be punished to the full extent of the law. Second, I have directed Chief Esserman to take the following steps. 1, to conduct a review of the department's protocol for loaning officers to other agencies. One of the officers involved in this investigation has been on loan to and under the supervision of the Federal Drug Enforcement Agency for several years. The nature of supervision and the circumstances surrounding the loaning of officers will be fully reviewed. Second, I've directed the Chief to review the department assignment rotation policy and other policies and procedures within the Narcotics Division to ensure that our policy reflects the appropriate course for this police department and is consistent with the best practices of law enforcement. The Chief has already reached out to the Rhode Island State Police Superintendent and the United States Attorney to lend their assistance. Finally, I've directed the Chief to institute random drug testing at the Providence Police Department, effective immediately. Over the last several years, support for this practice has grown within the rank and file. The investigation and arrest of these 3 officers is deeply disappointing. This is a very different police department than existed in the city when I took office. Maintaining the integrity of today's department requires the vigilance and commitment of every one of us, including the members of the department themselves. The arrest of these officers is the result of that vigilance and proof that criminal behavior will not be tolerated in the Providence Police Department. What we're doing today and what I'm doing in response to this is exactly what I was elected to do, to restore the public's confidence in city government and to ensure that I maintain the integrity of this administration and this police department. And this is a job that is never done, that requires constant vigilance. What I'm most proud of is this department has both policed itself, investigated itself, disciplined itself, and that wasn't the practice for many decades in this city. This is a department that takes integrity seriously, that takes actions when there is misconduct. What these three officers did was uniformly condemned by the great men and women of this department. I am as proud as I have ever been of the fine men and women who serve so honorably in this department and who every day risk their lives to keep us safe. The residents of this city should be proud, too, to have one of the finest police departments in the country serving our community. I'll end by saying I stand strongly in support of our chief and the great men and women of the Providence Police Department.